This is a demo of SAP S4 HANA Quality Management. Okay, so the demo is like this. Okay, first we have somebody now. Please be on mute. A lot of background noise is coming. John, are you able to hear us still? At least type it in the chat box, John. I'm still not able to understand. At least type it in the chat box. If you're not able to hear, type it in the chat box. I'm still. Okay, we'll continue with the demo. First we'll have the introduction of the student and introduction of the trainer. Okay, then we will see the course content. Okay, the what topics we'll be discussing during our QM training. Okay, the topics. I'll just give you overview of those topics. Okay, I'll just give you a brief introduction about the topics, and after that we will see the documentation part. Like at the end of the training, I'll provide you some documents. What are those documents? All those things I will show you. Okay, and after that we will see the training. Please be on mute. Somebody, John, please be on mute now. Okay. So basically, we'll see the training methodology, like when to have training, weekdays or weekends, what is a suitable timings, all those things we'll discuss in the end. So basically, this is a demo agenda. Okay. So first we'll start with the introduction. I'll give my introduction. So this is a snapshot of my profile. Myself, Savan. I'm a BTech mechanical graduate. I have overall 17 years of experience, 6 years into domain and 11 years into SAP. 11 years into SAP. So in my domain, in my industry experience, I worked as a quality analyst. In a quality control department, I worked as a quality analyst. Later on, I moved to SAP consulting. Okay, and I am certified in SAP QM module, quality management module. And so far, I have done 5 end-to-end implementation projects, including one S4 HANA. Apart from the regular support and what you call rollout projects, I was involved in 5 end-to-end implementation projects. Okay, and these are the Fortune 500 organizations for which I implemented SAP: General Electric, Sanofi, Milan Laboratories, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. You might have heard of this. Chipmunk. These are the industries. Okay, and these are the types of industries for which I worked on SAP. Pharmaceuticals, automobiles, brewery, and furniture industry. And currently I'm working as a solution architect in one of the leading IT organizations. Okay, and these are the countries I traveled as part of my SAP journey. Okay, so this is my profile. Okay, so now we will see the course content. Okay, so basically these are the topics we will be discussing during our SAP QM training. We will be covering all the topics of SAP QM, including configuration. Okay, so first we will have the introduction. Okay, so in the introduction, the overview part, introduction. First we'll be discussing what is SAP. It's basic. We'll start from scratch. So we'll discuss what is SAP, why the organizations implement SAP, what is a real reason why they use SAP. We'll discuss it. Then we'll go to QM module. What is QM module? Why the organizations implement QM module? Okay, when they implement QM module, what benefits they will get? What is the role of QM module in the entire supply chain cycle? We will see, and then we will see basic navigation in SAP. So these are the topics. This is what we will be discussing in the overview part. Overview is like an introduction. I hope all of you know what is SAP and all. SAP is a ERP tool, so I'll not go into again those details. What is SAP? Why SAP is used? So I assume all you people are already working on at least know what is SAP. At least what is SAP, you know. So that's why I will not be going in depth. Okay. So in the real training, we will see. Of course, some other people also will be joining. So we'll be discussing in depth in the actual class. Okay. After that, we will go for master data. Okay. So we'll start with org structure, organization structure. You might have heard of these terms. client, okay, company code. You might have at least heard of these terms, company code. Okay, then plant. You might have heard of plant. Then storage location. We will discuss all these things. Okay, so I'll just explain you here what is a plant. Plant is like a manufacturing facility. Simply for our QM, normally plant is like a manufacturing facility where the products are manufactured. Okay, so we will discuss about that. What do you call uh, organization structure? Organization structure. Once organization structure is discussed, we will go to material master. Material master. So material master is nothing but data of a particular material. Material can be anything. It can be a raw material, it can be a finished product, it can be a semi-finished product, it can be a what do you call machine spare parts, it can be anything. It can be anything. So in the material master, they maintain the data information about that particular material. Okay, so we will see how to create this material master, what data you maintain relevant to QM module, all those things we will discuss in the material master. After the material master, we will go to MIC, master inspection characteristic. So what is master inspection characteristic? The property of a material you are going to check. Suppose let's say you are inspecting a liquid solution. Let's assume you are inspecting a liquid solution. Okay, suppose let's say you are purchasing hydrochloric acid solution. Okay, so for to use in production or for some other purposes, you are procuring hydrochloric acid solution. So now when you procure it, when you purchase it, to do quality inspection, what you will check? So you will check first its color. Okay, then you will check its odor. Then you will check its clarity, whether whether it is clear or having any particles. You will check these things. Then what you will check? You will check its pH value. Okay, then you will check its assay potency. Then you will check its viscosity. So all these parameters, viscosity, you will check all these parameters. Okay, these are called MICs, master inspection characteristics. The property of a material, the attributes of a material which you are going to check, inspect, those are called MICs. Okay, so those things we will see it in the system. What are the MICs? John, are you able to hear us now? John, can you please unmute and speak? At least are you able to see my screen? Type it in the chat box at least. At least, John, type it in the chat box, John. You have that chat, right? Put there in the chat. Unmute and speak. Click on that mic button. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, John, are you able to hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the problem actually?
Actually, earlier I'm not getting any audio. Now I am getting.
Are you able to see my screen now, at least?
Yeah.
Yeah, so John, can you give your brief introduction? Where are you from? What you are doing currently? Can you give your brief introduction?
Yeah, my name is John. I'm from Karnataka, but I'm working in Hyderabad. So I'm
Okay.
working as assistant professor. I completed M.Tech in computer science engineering.
Okay. So
Mm,
after
Then
that, what you are doing currently? You just completed your studies, or what you are doing currently?
currently I'm working in engineering college as an assistant professor.
Okay. So how many after what do you call? After your completion of your studies, how many years of experience you have?
I have in teaching like 4 years, but industrial experience I don't have any industrial experience.
Okay. Have you heard of SAP at least? What the word SAP?
Yeah.
Why?
I heard of SAP, but means
Okay. Yeah.
I heard one or two models in that, like ABAP is there, BI is there. My friends have gone through that. And I don't know
Okay.
much about what completely it is and how
Yeah,
work.
John, I got it. I got it now. Just go through this demo. Just go through this demo. After this, we'll discuss offline. Okay. We'll discuss
Okay.
offline.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Please be on mute.
Okay.
Click on that mic button again. Please be on mute. Okay. So what we are discussing? We are discussing the master inspection characteristics. So basically, the property of a material you check, those are called MICs. So when we go to the real training, we will see how these characteristics are created, what data you will maintain, what type of MICs you have. Qualitative, these are called qualitative, these are called quantitative. Okay, how you create the data, ultimately where they are used, all those things we will discuss. Okay, after that we will go for sampling procedure. Okay, suppose let's say, assume a scenario, you purchased 100 liter of a solution. Okay, will you check entire 100 liter? Basha, are you there? Basha or Joginder, are you there? Shall we will inspect 100 total 100 liter solution?
No, it's part of that.
So what we will do, we will take some sample quantity. We will take some sample of it. Like let's say we take 0.5 liter.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is called sample quantity. So we will take from the 100 liter, we will take some sample quantity, and on this using this sample quantity, we will check all these parameters. Okay, so this is called sample quantity. So how to calculate the sample quantity? Now system only has to calculate the sample quantity. So to calculate the sample quantity, they will use sampling procedure. They will use sampling procedure. Okay, so sampling procedure will tell you how to calculate the sample quantity. Among that you have sampling scheme and sample drawing procedure. All those things are. So we will discuss all these things in detail. So basically, sampling procedure is used to calculate the sample quantity. That is a main reason. Okay. After this, we will go to codes and code groups, catalogs, all those things we'll discuss. I'll tell you what is this code and code groups. Suppose let's say you are checking pH value of a solution. Okay, so pH value of a solution normally it is from 0 to 14. pH value of any solution will be 0 to 14. You might have checked the pH value of solution in your chemistry practicals in your 12th standard, 11th standard or 12th standard. You might have done chemistry practicals. In that you might have checked pH value. So normally pH value is from 0 to 14. Suppose let's say you check the pH value of HCl. Now your result is let's say result is 16. Then what system will say? System will say it is reject. It is reject. Why system will say reject? Because this value is not within these limits. This is the lower limit, lower specification limit. This is the upper specification limit. So if your result is 16, system will say automatically reject. Why? Because this value is not within these limits. Suppose let's say your result is let's say 9. Then what system will say? System will say okay, accept. Why accept? Because this value 9 is within this range. Okay, the meaning is for some characteristics, quantitative characteristics, you will have the limits. So whatever the result you get, system will check whether that result is falling within this range or not. If it is falling within the range, accept. If it is falling outside the limits, it is reject. So here there is no issue. Quantitative one like pH value, assay, which are measurable, you don't have any issue. But when you come to odor, let's say take the case of odor. Odor, what can you measure the odor? No. You can only just describe. Good odor is good or bad. Let's say you can only measure. Or let's say clarity. What you say, you can just describe it. You cannot measure it. So in this case, let's say color also. Color you cannot measure. Only color you can describe. Like you can describe color as let's say white, yellow, green. Okay, red. You can describe. But the question is how we will come to know when it is white it is allowed or not, when it is yellow it is allowed or not, it is okay or not, accept or not, or reject. How you will know? It's not possible. So during the if it is a description, so for that you create these codes and code groups. So what you will do, you give a list of results to the user. You give this white, yellow, green, and for each one you will put a valuation criteria, like if it is white, you say accept, and if it is yellow, let's say you say accept. Okay, let's say it is green, you say accept. Let's say if it is red, let's say you say reject. So you give this predefined information to the user. From this, user will select. So all these are called codes. White is a code, yellow is a code, green is a code, red is a code. And these codes are clubbed into a code group called, like example, color values. Okay, so that is the use of codes and code groups. Along with that, you use some catalog selected set. When we go to the training, we will see how these are created, ultimately where they are used. All those things we will discuss. After that, we will go to inspection method. So what is inspection method? How to do quality inspection? Suppose, let's say, you might be knowing, what is pH meter? How to check the pH value? Normally, anybody knows how to check the pH value of a solution? What do you call? What's your name? Basha or Joginder. Any idea how to check the pH value of a solution? Basha, can you please unmute and speak? Hello, guys, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but thing is that by means of any titration and all those things.
Normally, how you check the pH value? You use a litmus paper, boss. You use a litmus paper, or you use a pH meter.
Yeah.
pH meter. In your 12th standard, you might have done chemistry practicals, right? That time you might have seen this pH meter. What they do? They take some sample, liquid sample in the beaker, and they will put the electrode here, and then system will show the value. The instrument will show the value. This is a pH meter. So now the question is, the person who is working in the quality lab, he should know how to check how to do the quality inspection. What is the procedure? So that procedure you will put it in the inspection method. So procedure is like this. I don't know whether you people normally how you will check the pH value. You take 50 ml, 50 ml of the solution in a beaker, and dip the electrode of the pH meter in the solution, and take reading. So that is the pH value. So this is the procedure of inspection. So that you will put it in the inspection method. So the person who is working in the quality lab, see in the quality control lab, you have a lot of analysts, correct? In the quality control laboratory, any industry, you have a quality control laboratory. In the quality control laboratory, you have the analyst. So they will do all the quality tests. So they should know how to perform the quality inspection. That procedure. So that procedure you will put it in the inspection method. So by looking at this inspection method, they will perform the quality inspection activity. They will do the analysis. So that is what the importance of inspection method. So when we go to the training, we will see how to create this inspection method. Ultimately, where this inspection method is used, all those things we will discuss. That is the inspection method. So this is the entire master data. Okay. Once the master data is done, we will go to the planning activity. Now, next step is they create inspection plan. So inspection plan means what? Means quality analyst should know for a particular material what parameters he has to check. Suppose for HCl solution, what we will check normally? Color, odor. Okay, you will check clarity, solution clarity. You will check pH value. Okay, then you will check viscosity. And what we will check? We will check what you call assay potency. Okay, you will check this one. Okay, but for HCl, is it possible to check the length? For a solution? No, not possible. So quality analyst should know for a particular material, what parameters he has to check, he should know. So all these parameters are put it into the inspection plan. So for a particular material, what he needs to check. Suppose let's say you are working in a pencil manufacturing company, pencils. Okay, pencils. So for a pencil, after manufacturing, normally what you will check? You will check its length. Okay, you have to check its width. You have to check its what do you call weight. Okay, then you have to check its diameter. So for a particular material, what parameters needs to be checked? Those things are put it in the inspection plan. That is the one. Okay. Now once the inspection plan is created, now the next one is every day they will be creating the lots. Whenever they receive a material, whenever they want to do quality inspection in the system, it will create a lot. So inspection lot will contain what parameters, what material they need to check, what is the total quantity, from the total quantity how much sample they need to take. All that information will be available in the lot. Inspection lot is nothing but a request given to the quality person to check the material, to check the quality of a material. So once he has this, what he does is he goes to the particular material and he will take the sample. See here, if you observe, a quality analyst is taking a sample from one of the drum. See, this is the total material received. From one drum, he is taking some sample. That sample quantity will be calculated by the system according to the sampling procedure. Okay, so once he take the sample, you see here also one person is taking the sample from a production line. You see here is taking the sample from a particular production line. Once that he takes the sample, he will come to the lab and he will perform the quality testing. All the parameters he will check. So here he is checking the pH value. He will check the other parameters. So once he checks all the parameters, what he does is he go to the system and he will do the results recording. He will enter the results in the system. What pH value he got, what potency he got. Suppose let's say it is a pencil manufacturing company. I'm just giving an example. He will check the weight, length, diameter, weight, all those details, results he will enter in the system. Results recording. How to do results recording? What are the various methods of doing results recording? All those things we will discuss. So once results recording is done, he will do the usage decision. Usage decision means overall approval or reject. Finally, he will say whether this material can be used or not. That is called usage decision. That is nothing but saying okay or not okay. Usage decision means saying okay or not okay. Once the usage decision is done, they will do stock posting. Stock posting means normally in the industries what happens is when the material is under quality inspection, they will put it in a separate area. See, they will put it in a separate area. Once the quality analyst says okay, then they will move it to the approved area. Approved area, that is called stock posting. So this we will see it in the system, how to do stock posting. So this is the total quality inspection process. Okay, once we will discuss this execution process, we will go to the business scenarios. First, we will start with QM in procurement. So QM in procurement, what to any typical manufacturing industry, to produce the product, you need some raw materials. So those raw materials are purchased from the vendor, suppliers. So when that material is received from the supplier into the plant, they have to do quality inspection. They have to check the quality of those materials. Okay, if they don't check, what will happen? If the quality of the raw material is not good, your end product, the product which you are going to manufacture, its quality also will get suffered. So that is why we have to check our incoming material. That is called good receipt inspection against purchase order. This we need to do. So this we will discuss. And sometimes they procure the material without purchase order. That also we will discuss. Inspection. Then we will see controls in procurement. Controls in procurement means, suppose let's say one supplier is not giving good quality of material. We want to block the vendor. We want to stop the procurement from that particular supplier. How to do that? Your purchasing department doesn't know, right? They will be procuring the material from any supplier. So you as a QM guy will put a setting in a system that purchasing department cannot procure the material from that particular supplier. So that is called controls in procurement. So how to do that? We will see. Then also we will see stock transfer inspection. Suppose in the organization, sometimes they will be moving the material from one location to another location, one plant to another plant. That means one manufacturing site to another manufacturing site. So when they transfer it during the transit, material may get damaged. So in the receiving location, again they want to do quality inspection. So how to do that? Stock transfer inspection. So all those things we will discuss. Now once this is done, we will go to QM in production. So normally in the manufacturing industries, when the production is ongoing, in between they will be checking the quality of the product. See here, if you observe, he is checking the weight of the strip. You see, so that is called in-process inspection for production order. So during the production process itself, in between they will do some quality checks. Okay, whether the product is manufactured according to the specifications or not. Okay, so that we will discuss in-process inspection. Now the next one is inspection at the end of the production. So your production is completed, product is transferred to the warehouse. After that, quality people will do the quality inspection. So that is called good receipt inspection after completion of production. So how to do all these things in the SAP system, we will understand. Okay. After this, we will go to QM in sales and distribution, SD. So normally what happens is, even though product is inspected at regular stages in the production activity, still sometimes your customer, before you deliver the product to the customer says he wants one more time inspection. That is what called inspection during delivery to the customer. So how to do that, we need to discuss. Next one is inspection after customer returns. Suppose you deliver the product to the customer, you sell the product to the customer received the product, then customer says after certain time your product is not good, quality is not good, I am returning the product. So when the customer returns the product, you have to check really that complaint is genuine or not. So for that, again you do perform quality inspection on the returned material. That is called inspection after customer returns. Okay, so these things we will discuss in the system. How to do all these business processes in the system, we will understand. Okay, after that we will go to physical samples management. Suppose physical sample management means, what happens is, suppose if you see here material is received in a lot of drums. Here we are taking sample only from one container, no need to take from each and every container. But in some industries, what happens is, the specific industry regulation says that you have to take sample from all the containers. So if you take sample from each container, how you will identify that sample? You have to give some number to that sample. Okay, and once that samples are taken, those are mixed into a pooled sample, and then they will do the inspection. Okay, and then in some industries, what happens is, like pharma, chemical, those kind of industries, they store the samples for some time. They take some quantity and they will store the sample, reserve sample. Okay, these are called control samples. I am not sure anybody of you have worked for pharma or chemical industries. In those industries, till the product or material expiry, they store some sample as a control sample. So how to create all these samples in the SAP system, we need to understand. So we have three types of samples: primary samples, pooled sample, reserve sample. So how many physical samples are there? How to create these samples? How to do quality inspection using these physical samples? All those things we will discuss. This is called physical samples management. How you are going to manage your samples. Okay. After this, we will go to calibration inspection. That means what happens is, in the quality control laboratory, people will be using a lot of equipments. Okay, so these equipments has to work properly. Okay, suppose these equipments are not working properly, what happens? The quality results will go wrong. So what they do is, the quality people at periodical intervals, they will check whether these equipments are functioning properly or not, which is called calibration inspection. Okay, so calibration is nothing but cross-checking whether the equipment you are using is functioning properly or not. That's what. and it is also called as test equipment management. So how to do this in the system, SAP system, we will understand. What data you have to set up, what settings you have to make, how the process flow happens, all those things we will discuss, which is called calibration inspection. Okay. After that, we will go to recurring inspection. Recurring inspection means what? Means in some industries, some like process industries like pharmaceutical, chemical, food manufacturing industries, what happens is when you receive the material for the first time, you do quality inspection. And first time when you receive it, into the warehouse, you do quality inspection. But the regulatory norm says that till the material is fully consumed, at a periodical interval, you have to do quality inspection. Like for every year or once in 6 months, after every 6 months, you have to do quality inspection on the leftover material. That is called recurring inspection. Recurring inspection means doing quality inspection again and again. That is what called recurring inspection. So we will see what is recurring inspection, what settings you need to make it in the system, how the process flow works, all those things we will discuss. Okay. After that, we will go to quality certificate. You might have heard of this term, COA, Certificate of Analysis. So what happens is, normally the quality analyst, once they do quality testing, they will enter the results in the system and then they will take a printout of that results. Once they take the printout, they will sign it and their manager also will sign it. Tested by, approved by, they will sign it. So that certificate printing from the system, how to do, we will learn that. How to print the certificate COA from SAP system, what settings you have to make, all those things we will discuss. That is called quality certificates. Okay. After the quality certificates, we will go to quality control. So what is this quality control? Suppose let's say you are procuring a material. Okay. Let's take the scenario of let's say you are working in a pencil manufacturing company. Let's say you manufactured pencils and you are checking the length of the pencils. Length. Okay. Or let's say length of the pencils. Okay. So now let's say the length of the pencil should be from let's say 1 to 10 centimeters. Let's assume the limit should be this one. Now let's say you are checking the length of the pencils, you are getting results like this: 9 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 9.5 centimeters, okay, 1.2 centimeters. What does this signify? Even though results are within the limits, the values are not consistent. They are almost touching the extremes. Okay, when you do individual quantity inspection, the result is within the limits. But over a period of time, if you check what happened, what do you observe? The results are not consistent. Okay, so for this analysis, they use quality control. So what they do, they take the values, quality results over a period of time, and they will put it on a graph and they will analyze the pattern. Okay, whether your results are consistent or they are behaving in a abnormal behavior, they will check. If there is any abnormality, they will inform the production or they will inform the vendor if it is a purchased material. So the question is how to generate this. So to do this activity, what they do, they use a control chart. This is called control chart. Now how to generate this control chart from SAP system, we need to understand. Okay, you have the results with you. Now how to generate this control chart? That is called control chart generation. So how to create the control charts in the SAP system? What settings you need to make? Okay, how the control chart is generated? What are the different types of control charts are there? All those things we will discuss. That is quality control. After the quality control, we will go to quality notifications. Quality notifications is nothing but CAPA, corrective action and preventive action. Those who are working in what's your name, Shaikh Basha. Basha, have you heard of this CAPA term? Basha or Joginder. Basha, are you there? Please unmute.
Yeah, no sound.
CAPA means corrective action and preventive action. action, corrective action, preventive action. That means, suppose let's say you purchased a material, you did the quality inspection, then material is failing, results are not okay, material is failing. Then what you will do? You will investigate why the material is failing, what is the reason. Now, what precautions you have to take so that next time the material is not getting failed in quality inspection. That is called kappa. What corrective actions you are going to take for the already rejected material, and what preventive actions you are going to take so that next time the material quality will not get rejected, quality inspection will not get rejected. So all those things are documented in the system by using these quality notifications. Okay, it's like doing the postmortem, why it got failed. So on the failed quantity, what corrective action you want to take, and in future to avoid this, what you have to do. So those are mentioned in the quality notifications. So what are the quality notifications you have? What are the different types of notifications we have? How to process the notification in the system? How defect recording is done? All those things we will discuss. That is called quality notification. It's nothing but what do you call? What do you say? Uh, analysis, actually analyzing what went wrong, where we went wrong. That's the notifications. And after the notifications, we will go to stability studies. Okay, stability studies means what? Suppose let's say you go to a medical shop and you purchase tablets or capsules. What you see on the tablet strip or capsule strip? You see batch number, manufacturing date, and expiry date. Correct? Basha or Joginder, or what's your names? John. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now the question is how this expiry date is calculated. Is the question. Who calculates this expiry date? How it is calculated? That is calculated through this what do you call stability studies. Okay, they perform stability. What they do is they take the material or the product, they store the product in environmental conditions, and they store it for certain period like 1 month, 6 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. They store the samples for particular period. Once that period is reached, they take out the samples and they will do the quality analysis. So after 1 month is reached, they take some samples, they will do analysis. After 6 months is reached, they will take some samples, they will do analysis. After 1 year is completed, they will take some samples, they will do analysis. So let's say after 3 years, they took samples, they did quality inspection. Now the material is failing. Then the 3 years is determined as the expiry period. So this is called stability studies. In some industries, they call it as shelf life studies. Okay, so how to do this in the SAP system, we will understand. Shelf life studies. How to do this? All those things we will understand. How to set up this, how to execute in the SAP system, all those things we will understand. That is called stability studies. Okay, after this we will go to S4 HANA special topics. Like S4 HANA is the latest version of SAP. So in that S4 HANA they have some new topics. So we'll discuss that, like Fiori, introduction to Fiori, new data migration cockpit to LTMC, and we will also understand the differences from ECC to S4 HANA with respect to QM module. So we will discuss this also. Okay. After this, we will go to configuration. So as a consultant, normally you will do configuration, backend settings. So the backend settings also we will discuss. Configuration, entire QM configuration we will discuss. Okay. After the configuration, we will go to integration of QM with other modules. In SAP, you have a lot of modules. Like for purchasing, you have MM. For production, PP. For plan engineering, you have PM. For sales, you have SD. Okay, and you have for finance, FICO. Okay, and you have a lot of other modules like WM. Okay, IM. You have customer service. You have PS. You have this. So we will see integration of our QM module with when they do some activity in other modules, how it will affect our module, QA module, or when we do some activity in our QA module, how it will affect other modules, vice versa. We will discuss all these things. Okay. After this, once the training is completed, I will provide you 3 types of documents: SAP certification documents, process flow documents, and configuration documents. I'll show you this. SAP certification documents means those are provided by SAP Germany. Okay, I'll show you a sample one. This is our. This is our. See, if you see this document, 551 pages. These are the SAP certification documents. I will give you all these soft copies of the documents for your future reference. We will discuss what is there in these documents, but for your future reference, you will get all these documents. So these are SAP certification documents. You will get all this. Okay, you will get all these certification documents. Next one is process flow documents. So whatever I show it in the system, I prepared them with step-by-step screenshots. Suppose if you see QM in procurement, how to do quality inspection against a purchase order. Okay, suppose if you see this document, you see with step-by-step screenshots. See how to do quality inspection against a purchase order. So if you have these documents while practicing in the system, it will be very easy for you. So I will provide you all these documents with step-by-step screenshots. Whatever I show it in the system during training, I prepared them for all the topics. Suppose if you go to stability studies, how to carry out stability studies with step-by-step screenshots. Okay, you see here, you will get all this, see, with step-by-step screenshots. You will get all these documents. Okay, so that is process flow documents. Next one is you will get is config documents. That means backend settings documents. I'll show you that with step-by-step screenshots. This is the configuration documents. I'll show you all these things in the system, configuration also, but for your future reference, you will get all this. See, configuration documents with step-by-step screenshots. If you have these documents in the implementation projects, you can do configuration on your own. No need to take help from anybody. See, so you will get all these documents also. Okay, so basically you will be getting what do you call certification documents, process flow documents, and configuration documents. All the 3 you will get. Okay, so now coming to the training methodology part, this training will take around 30 hours. It will take 30 hours. Normally I take training in 2 methods actually. One is only on weekdays, Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour. Next one is only on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 2.5 hours and Sunday 2.5 hours. Okay, so that's how the training happens. Now coming to the tools, we will be using S4 HANA server, latest SAP version. We will not be using that old ECC. The training will happen using S4 HANA server. And we will be using this GoToMeeting tool, the tool which we are using now. And I will provide all the recorded videos of the classes. Every day when the training is going on, I will record the training session and I will provide you the recorded videos. And you will get the SAP ID server access for 3 months to practice in the system. You will get 3 months server access. And the training will happen using real-time scenarios. This is not an end user or a core user training. This training is to become a consultant, SAP consultant. So when you go to different industries, what type of requirements you will get, how to handle those, considering the training will happen. And everything will be executing in SAP. This is the demo. So I'm not going into the system, but in the real training, actual training, we will log on to SAP and everything we will be executing in depth, in detail. And we will execute all the business processes end to end. That's how the method of training. Now, once after completion of the training, I will help you out in your resume modification. how to approach for the interviews, what kind of questions they will ask in the interviews. All those things I will help you out if required. So that's what happens. Okay. So that's all about the demo.